Alright. This is called The Other Universe of Bruce Wayne. There's an alternate universe in which Bruce Wayne is poor, and I have my shit together. Without money, there's no Batman, no Batmobile, no Batcave, no utility belts, much less a cool butler and a trusted sidekick. Without Batman, there's no crime fighting, there's no hot vigilante action, there's no pensive brooding on the rooftops of Gotham. In this universe, Bruce Wayne drinks alone in his trailer home in Arkansas. Bruce has one friend, me. He calls me in the middle of the night. Hey, it's Bruce. Could you come get me? Feeling real low. I can tell by the sound of his voice that he's been dumped again. In this universe, Bruce Wayne ain't that lucky in love. I pull up outside his trailer in my convertible 63 Lincoln Continental. Bruce makes his way inside the car reeking of whiskey and cigarettes. She's gone, he says. Can you stop by the store? When we get to the store, Bruce hobbles in. His knees and feet have seen better days. He's got a couple vertebrae in his lower back that cracked and healed poorly that gives him constant pain. He has chronic headaches the VA hospital won't do anything about. They say it's psychosomatic. I buy Bruce another bottle of whiskey and we go back to my place. I know he doesn't want to talk. He just doesn't want to be alone. I turn on the TV and we watch as he drinks. We watch The Tonight Show with Lenny Bruce. Tonight's guest is Jimi Hendrix. He's plugging the album he just cut with Miles Davis, the Kind of Blue Haze Experience. He's asleep by the time Late Night with Bill Hicks comes on. During a guest bit when Richard Pryor is talking about the cure for multiple sclerosis, I hear Bruce talking unawake but not rested. Bruce talks in his sleep and I would let him, but when he starts screaming, "It's not fucking right! It's not fucking right! It's not fucking right!" I have to wake him. When he finally realizes he's awake, he instinctively moves for the whiskey. He's shaking so hard he can't pour it, so he drinks it right out the bottle. I sit next to him and hold him close to me. It's okay, Bruce. There's another universe out there, which everyone loves you. Children read about you in comic books. Adults make movies about you, and you symbolize justice in human form. Bruce exhales loudly and looks up. And in this other universe, he asks, "What are you?" Bruce, I say, "Don't concern yourself with that." Until the small hours. Oakland. The boxer calls me, asks me if I want to see her beat the shit out of a girl from San Jose. Fuck yes, I say. She can't have sex a week before the fight. She tells me she needs it tonight, good enough not to need it for a week. She sweats like only boxers sweat, a complete release of fluids. Drops fall from her chin and nose onto me. I grab her hips like trying to grab a catfish in a boat. Her body is one muscle that contracts and relaxes. Sweat rivers run down her abs that look like two snakes fighting their way out of saran wrap. I slap those abs like I'm jumping in a puddle. Her eyes change into a game of truth or dare. "Is that all you got?" I slap her again. "No, hit me like you mean it, bitch." It's on. I'm full on punching her. I can't get good leverage from below. I'm giving it all I have, and she just clenches her stomach muscles in defiance. I want to be in love with her, but I'm not. I wish I was. I wish I could flip a switch. She has everything I need to be in love with her. She's tough, but she's very sweet and caring at the same time, but it's not love. The feeling is mutual. We both know it isn't the real fight, that we're just sparring partners. I wonder if the part of me that falls in love is broken. A few months before, M broke me bad, busted my heart with hers like a monkey busting open a coconut with another coconut. It's the same problem I usually have in relationships. The fucking is good, but there's so many other things that just go wrong. There's listening and thoughtfulness and patience and tolerance, and whatever's wrong with my brain makes my emotional state like a Ferris wheel going rogue, breaking free of the carnival and rolling down the streets of my relationships, stampeding and squashing everyone in the way. Eventually, we stop fucking long enough for let me say something wrong, to forget the wrong thing, or not pay attention at a crucial moment, to fire off a word of anger with no warning. And then I hear the speech again. I think you're really great and you have a lot of good qualities, but you have something you have to work through talk. And if it's bad enough, it's the, "What the fuck is wrong with you" talk. Portland. 9 months later, I wake up in Portland. Sleeping is like drowning. When I come out of the water, I try to catch my breath, figure out where I am. I don't remember anything right away and wait for the pieces to sort themselves out. I'm with a woman I barely know. She's sleeping in the crook of my arm. It takes a minute for my brain to locate. Her hair feels like a boxer's hair. For a moment, I'm not sure where I am. And then I remember. It comes back to me. She took me for a donut. We bought two. We ate the first one in her car, and she said we could finish the other one at her place. She didn't want to have sex. She just didn't want to be alone, which was exactly my problem. So we went to her place. She told me stories about doing coke with Sean Penn until I fell asleep with her on me. It's hard for me to sleep with someone else sober, physically touch someone at night. I used to drink for it, but I don't anymore. Em was the last one I could sleep with like that. She pulled my arm over her shoulder at night like an illustration of a judo throw. I could believe that I would be in love again, but I get really worried I can't sleep with another person. I had had just one nightmare, which always come in a series. There was more coming, and the next night it would be even worse, but my mustache still smelled like chocolate. The girl's bookshelf was full of Bukowski and Klosterman, not a single Tom Robbins book. I knew I would be okay. I pulled her tighter till the heat woofed out from under the blanket and crossed my face. Oakland. The boxer says, the other girl might be running the lake tomorrow. What if I run into her? I said it will be like Matthew Modine running into Shoot in Vision Quest. And she says she hasn't seen that movie. So we watch it. In the movie, they say life is what happens in those 6 minutes. The fight is in a small gym in an industrial space like where we used to have punk shows. There are boxers of all ages and sizes. Entire Mexican families arriving like it's the school Christmas pageant. Old boxers from the neighborhood shuffle around, give unasked for advice, tell stories that fit in spaces where teeth used to go. The boxer takes her turn and she's giving it good. I get excited when she lands one. I can taste the hits in my throat, and when she takes one, I feel the vibrations in my feet. I want to yell her name, but I'm afraid I'll throw up. She gets hit in the gut. I wonder if she's thinking about fucking me. There's something about her landing a combination that gets me really excited. I want to rip out my stomach and wave it over my head like a soccer player's shirt. 3 rounds, 6 minutes is all it takes. She wins the fight. I want every day to be like this one. I go outside with Adrian and we smoke. We're both doing a really shitty job of quitting. We're quitting the way that you party really hard the night before you go to rehab. We're smoking more than we ever have, trying to get sick of it or something, but we're gluttons for punishment. Boston. It started when I got jumped at 15, my first girl street fight. Me against what looked like a dozen pairs of Converse weapons and Adidas shell toes. I tried to stand up, but they just kept kicking me. There's a whole moment where the screen shifts to the left and everything goes quiet. I've been kicked in the ear and go down, but it feels like I can't quit falling. I hit the ground, but it feels like I've been dropped out of a plane. My feet go away, and someone's pulling me up. I think it's gone, but it's a Boston cop. I try to tell him what happened, but my mouth doesn't work right. It just squeaks out something. My throat is huge and filled with spit. I try to tell him I didn't see who it was, and he just says, "Go home, faggot." After that, my ears rang forever. My right ear is still shit. I lost count of the fights after that. One day I got punched in the face and it just didn't hurt. It just made me mad. That last time I got rat packed, instead of getting up, I hooked the guy's leg, pulled him down to the ground, got on top of him. His face red as the cobblestone I pushed it on. He was yelling, "Get off me!" They were kicking at me, but hitting him half the time. I don't remember how that one ended. The memory just stops there. Just me and him stuck together. There's something wrong with me. There's a name for it, but I didn't know for a long time. I just thought it was the way I was made. St. Louis. In 1988 in St. Louis, these 2 rednecks were laughing at me. I walked across the parking lot, blasted one of them in the face. There was blood coming out of his nose. He was scared. His friend said, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" I realized they weren't laughing at me. They were laughing at anything else. It hadn't been me. I just wanted to get the first punch in for once. "What the fuck?" he said. What's your problem?" I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know the name for it. That would come 4 or 5 years later when someone gave it a name, but they couldn't do anything about it. I walked out of that parking lot. I had to walk home. I didn't have a car. I blamed St. Louis and said when I got to California, it'd be different. I'd fit in. California was fucking cool. Not like this place. There were punks there. The best bands ever. No one would notice that there was anything wrong with me. Em said I wasn't right for it, that I had anger issues. That is the one thing I can't tolerate. She said dating you was like dating the guy in the movie Shine. fucking hurts. I can make myself smarter than anyone else. I can read more and learn more, but I can't fix what's broken in my head. Portland. There's something wrong with me. There's a name for it, but there's no fucking cure. There's whiskey and cocaine, but there's no fucking cure. And I can't have whiskey and cocaine anymore, so now I have to live with it and dream about it and wake up from it. And I look over and struggle to pull Portland's name out of my memory. And I find it, I whisper, thank you, and go back under. There are chunks of time when it's all okay. Small moments, like when some hours are shorter than others, where I think I can make it work, when I think this time it won't fall apart. Maybe I'm better enough. There's still something wrong with me, not as bad as it was. Maybe now I'm good enough for someone else to put up with. I won't hear the word crazy or insane or mental. Instead it will be just quirky, unique, special, eccentric. I wish I were eccentric. I would love to be that guy. I would love to climb down the mental ladder to the rungs where the guy who wears a leather vest and iguana on his shoulder lives. But I'm way the fuck above him. I'm looking up at the butthole of the guy who just yells fuck over and over into the air. That would be a good gig. I wish I thought of that. It's got to be better than my office job.
Oh, wow.
Oakland. Right after the fight, the boxer is off her diet restriction. I need some ice cream, she tells me. We walk down Piedmont Avenue towards Fenton Creamery. Everyone looks at her, sees her black eyes, and looks back at me. Asshole, their stares say. You monster. Thanks.
Woo!